I can remember a time back in mid '90s when the Desert Storm was going on, and we had this opportunity to entertain the troops. Jeffery Osborne was invited to do a whole USO tour there. I was his front of house mixer, so we started off in Germany, and that was our that's where we started. That was our first show. I had no idea what to expect. You know what you're used to having in the States and what you think you need to do a show properly. But then you realize you're not going to get what you need or what you think you need. You're getting this. Literally, a plane pulled in, dropped a pallet of stuff that was all palleted up in plastic, and took off. And I talked to one of the military people. I said, "What's the deal with this gear?" He said, "Well, I don't know. Do you know how to set it up?" "Me? Well, yeah, but not alone. So how does this work?" Well, they give you a platoon of guys, and they all do whatever you ask them to do. But now you've got all this sound system stuff that's stored in Spain, military sound equipment that's stored in Spain and now brought to you for this tour. And it's now my responsibility to make it work. Okay. So we put it all together and we started doing shows, and it worked, but I didn't have any technical support. I didn't have any way to change it. There's no call the sound company and, hey, we need this, we need that. No, this is it. You got to do shows, and you got to entertain the troops with what you have. And it was bad. It was bad equipment. The speakers were real little speakers that we actually had to get. I actually got some gear out of London to complement the gear so it would actually work, because in my opinion it wasn't good enough to actually do a concert. But we made it work, and we started moving around from place to place. And one day we pulled in, opened the desk, turned it on, and it wouldn't come on. No lights, nothing. And I said to the tour managers, I don't know what we're going to do here. We don't have a desk. And they said, well, we got to do something. What are we going to do? And I said, I don't know. And then I heard a page from the mess hall. I said, there's a microphone, there's speakers, there's got to be some sort of mixer in this mess hall. Where is this mess hall mess? Where's this thing happening? They took me in and they had a little 6-channel mixing thing that they used for microphones to make announcements. And I said, we need that. And we took it, and I put Jeffrey's vocal, I think the kick, a snare, and some keyboards, and we did a show. And I was blown away that we could actually do a show, entertain people with a 6-channel board and a few inputs. And we had to make it work. That's all I was. Okay, after the show, this guy is going to come pick up the console, and you're going to go with him in a truck to go get it fixed. I said, why me? I don't have, it's not my desk. I'm not responsible for it. I don't want to go off with somebody. I don't speak German. I can't, there's nothing I'm going to be able to do. And he said, well, we want you to go to make sure that something happens. We just want you to be there with this process. And I said, okay, I'm going to go. So I got in a truck. It's 2 a.m. in the morning after this show. We load it all up, load this thing onto a truck. We're driving for hours with a guy who only speaks German, French, Italian. 6 hours in the truck. I have no idea where we're going or what's going to happen. All I know is got to get this console fixed. Pull up. We sat in a truck stop, a German truck stop, where he was making phone calls, and then another guy showed up about 3 hours later in a Mercedes station wagon. And we now have to put the board into his Mercedes station wagon to go somewhere else to get the board fixed. Wow, okay. And it doesn't fit, so we have to take it out of the case, and we put it in the back of it. And we got it to fit without the case. So now I'm in a car with him. He doesn't speak English either. So we're driving, and hours are going by, and I'm literally dying I'm dying. I'm so tired. I haven't eaten. How are we going to get this board fixed? I still don't understand. So we drove, and finally pulled into this little town. It was beautiful, rolling hills, little cobblestone streets. It was a beautiful little city, but there was nothing of like electronics. There was no gross big stores. There was nothing. It was a village. And we pulled up to this little guy's house, and he came out and he looked like one of Santa's helpers. He had little round glasses and an apron. And then he got in his car, and we followed him over to his little place. And his store was no bigger than, it was a tiny little store that had like a hair dryer and a couple little pieces of electronics in the window. And I thought, what are we doing here? What is happening? This is a dream, right? This is a bad dream. Get the board out. We can barely get it through his door. He sets it on a big table. He plugs it in. Of course, they only have 220. It's a 110 desk now, right? So now that's a problem. But he goes to another neighbor and he gets some sort of transformer. And he brings a transformer back and he plugs it in. No lights, nothing. And he says, I don't, he starts talking to the German, and the German guy basically is telling me he doesn't know. And I said, yeah, no kidding. You know, this is not a surprise to me. I said, but we have come all of this way. I said, I want a screwdriver. Does he give me a Phillips screwdriver? I want to open this desk. I want to see what's going on. I spent 15 hours driving. I want to know I want to look. Literally, give me a Phillips. I take the things apart, I pull out all the screws, and the guys stand there, all standing. We open up the consoles, take the faders up, open up the thing, and I notice an ink pen. It's sitting, and it has one of those metal clips that you clip into your shirt. And that clip is sitting right across the power supply. And I lifted it off, and the board went, and all the lights came on. I went, oh my God. And I said, and they all went, huh? Huh? I said, pack it up, let's go. It works. Somehow, some way, that pen had been inside that desk for I don't know how long, and it had moved right into a position of shorting out the power supply. The second I picked it up, the whole board lit up. And there was no way to test it or anything there at that point, but I was sure that the problem was solved. We were done. Took the pen, I threw it in the trash, and I said, let's close this thing up. And then we drove another 10 hours to where we finally got the next gig, plugged it in, and it all worked.